Unforgiving Ross-Abian Desert.
Good morning, welcome to Cooley Outdoors. I'm your host, Brandon Scott, and with me today is Nash. Happy New Year, 2024. We are actually getting out and hiking for the first day.
Thank God we are.
Damn, it's almost like we're trying to be better. Kind of, maybe, sort of, ish. Hashtag first day hike. Yo, yo, what's up?
Cut. Try again.
Anywho, where are we, Brandon? Jesus, shut up and tell us some useful information. Okay, fine, I will. We are at Diablo Lake in North Cascades National Park. We are at almost the end of the road because they closed it another 4 miles up the road for the winter at Ross Lake, where the turnoff to go down to Ross Dam is, because between here, there, and Winthrop, the highway goes through something like 27 or 28 named avalanche chutes. So yeah, you don't want to be driving through that. Anywho, what are we doing here? We are going up the Thunder Creek Trail to, at minimum, the Neve Camp, which is about three and a half miles up the trail. And if we're feeling spunky, which I don't think we'll have enough daylight to be that spunky, we could go all the way to the 6.5 miles to McCallister Camp and the border between Ross Lake National Recreation Area and North Cascades National Park. Because yes, even though all these videos are in the North Cascades National Park playlist, technically we've never actually been in the park. We've just been in the park complex, aka also Ross Lake or Lake Chelan National Recreation Areas. Anywho, there are 2, possibly 3, if there's, supposedly there might be a bridge at Neve, I doubt it, to go over Thunder Creek. So there are possibility of 2 waterfalls to see, one along the trail and one on Thunder Creek itself. And then of course we'll stop at Neve and eat lunch and hang out by the river. And then we'll probably come back, and at this point, I mean, we've seen 4 cars since we left I-5 85 miles ago and an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. So there are things we could go take long exposures of on the way back out that would normally be packed full of tourists, but because it's New Year's Day and there's nobody out here, it might be a pretty rare opportunity to do stuff like get Gorge Creek Falls and a couple other places that normally would be ruined, not ruined, but the ambiance would be different because there'd be a lot of people. Anywho, it's just a simple river walk. Normally we'd be skiing this time of year or snowshoeing, but there's no freaking snow anywhere, so we're going up river walks as like staging for longer hikes we can do in the summertime when you can actually get up high. Because you still, I mean, we probably could get up high. It'd just require micro spikes and going slow, and there's not enough daylight for some of those without good planning. So let's go hit the trail. So there is Clank on one side of the highway. Holy crap, gorgeous snowy mountains. Highway, Diablo Lake over there. Pile of dirt.
No way, don't call me that.
And Nash. And the most ironic sign of 2024 so far, subject to flooding. Well, you don't say. So if you're wondering what this crap is, this is Road Creek doing Road Creek things. Every once in a while, a debris flow, avalanche, whatever you want to call it, lets loose off of Colonial Peak and the glaciers above and brings a whole hell of a lot of sediment down. And we can hear water coming out of Road Creek up there. There's just so much dirt and crap that it's not even making it down here. But anywho, barring this in mind, normally in the summertime, there's a whole big-ass campground over here, which is the northern half of the Colonial Creek campground, which in the summertime, it's got a lot of camping spots. In the wintertime, there are 10 spots along the lake that you have to park your car over there where Clank is and then walk in to use. So normally this is just gated closed here, but you know, Road Creek did Road Creek things, which is R-H-O-D-E, Road Creek. So yeah, it's really not accessible at the moment. So we're just gonna have to walk through the campground, and adds, I don't know, an extra quarter of a mile to our hike each direction, which ain't the end of the world. So Diablo Lake boat launch is there. If you'd seen some of our other North Cascades escapades. We did kayak on Diablo Lake. Went to all 3 of the boat-in campgrounds and went swimming and had ourselves a frickin' grand old time. I will post that right there. Oh, that is perfect. That is picture worthy. Get a quick picture of that. So yeah, this is a very heavy El Nino winter here in the Pacific Northwest, deploying sunglasses. So what does that mean? That means we just don't get any precipitation. And it's usually pretty warm. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, it was literally the high of was 61 in Seattle in frickin' December, when it's normally supposed to be like 43 and raining. Oh, it is still frosty though. We're at 1,500 feet of elevation, deep in the mountains, so it's still going to be a frosty day. Hopefully we'll have bits of some good snow along the trail. It should be fun. I'm not expecting too much danger, Will Robinson, just because we're at such low elevation and it has been so little of the white stuff so far. So even if it is on the trail, it's still a flat trail to Neve Camp. It's still pretty flat along the river, and we should get some good river shots anyway. So we have been up this trail a couple of times. Well, I've been up this trail a couple of times. Nash and I have been up this trail together once, and the one time we were up here together was BCO, before Coulee Outdoors. We came out here and we used one of these walk-in winter camps in the last weekend of September, because I believe they closed the campground. No, yeah, like first weekend of October, something like that. We came in, we camped for the weekend up here, explored North Cascades for really the first time, and one of our days up here, we decided, hey, we'll go up Thunder Creek, because, you know, it's right here. We were camping right over there. We'll go up Thunder Creek right there, and go up the creek to one of these day camps, whether it be Neve. I think the original plan was to go to McCallister. And then on the way back, we'll go up and go do 4th of July Pass. Sounds like a pretty freaking sweet day, right? Well, we accomplished neither. We didn't make it to McCallister. I'm not even sure if we actually made it to Neve. We pretty much made it to the bridge at 2 miles over Thunder Creek. Saw the trail going up 4th of July Pass. Didn't do that. Went down the trail a little ways. Said, bag this. We're going up to 4th of July camp. Got a little ways up the trail to 4th of July. And by that time of the day, it was starting to get dark. So we had to bag that too. So we accomplished nothing. But hey, there's no evidence of YouTube of that failure, so it's not a failure, right? It's just exploratory. So, anywho, now this is when we die, walking over all these frosted over, glazed over maple leaves before we even make it to the actual trailhead. But I don't think I'm going to film the rest of this walk through the campground. I'll just start the camera again when we make it to the trailhead. Yeah, we saw you.
Good morning to you too.
All right, well, we have reached the back of the campground loop, so we are now about to go actually start the Thunder Creek Trail.
Is the amphitheater right here?
Yeah, the amphitheater's here, and then there's a nature trail here also. So I'm going to actually remember to turn on and track it on iHike, so I know what the distance is. You know, 2024, always improving, kind of, sort of, maybe. Official start time is 9:40.
There's Neve, which is our potential destination.
Yep.
And then McCallister is way down here. It's about,
So
what,
is it?
6
It
miles?
says 6.4, 2.1 to the crossing, and then 4.3 to McCallister. See, the nice thing about McCallister is there is a bridge across, and the camp, there's a stock camp on one side and a hike camp on the other side. There are the Panther Potholes is somewhere in here. There's also a waterfall, I think, on the actual Thunder Creek. It's called Thunder Crossing, and there's a waterfall up Neve Creek over here somewhere, but obviously we're not going to be able to make it across. And there's also a waterfall on Thunder Creek up here by McCallister. So yeah, we'll probably just go to Neve and then take some other long exposures on the way back home. And coming out all the way up to McCallister for a nice 13-mile day hike somewhere in, I don't know, April, May. Get father out here and bada bing, bada boom, baby. All we go. And then, of course, there's 4th of July Pass, which I will tag when we do both sides of it. Eventually, when we get to that trail intersection, and then also Fisher Creek Trail on the other side coming up. You can look down into this valley via, I believe it's called Easy Pass, Easy Pass Trail. So we'll do that at some point too, and I'll actually tag that right. Oh, crisp there. Anywho, down the trail we go. So these first 2 miles between here and the big recently redone bridge, it is a very gorgeous bridge. It is a very wide, very flat, very easy, and very pretty trail. Oh, that was the other book I didn't bring. I have a rainforest hike book of Washington and British Columbia, and Thunder Creek is in it. Dang it, I didn't show maps or books on this one. Oops. Oh well. I might add that in afterwards. I can always add that in, you know. They'll never, yeah. They'll never know. I could just add it in afterwards when we get back to the car. Anywho, big rainforest. Huge 10 to 12 foot, 1,000-year-old cedar trees along. So we shall see. I'll probably turn it back on when we get to the first couple of cedar trees. Otherwise, away we go. 9:40 is our official start time. I think we are finally getting ready to roll into a grove of pretty big cedars and Doug firs. We've gone about 2/3 of a mile from the trailhead. Again, it don't take very long. We are quick hikers, but it still don't take very long. It's not taking us 15 minutes or so to go more than half a mile. So absolutely stunning blue sky. 4th of July Pass. Give the camera a second to focus, is up there on that ridgeline somewhere, which hopefully we will do in the future, but I'm not going to tag it yet until we get to the actual junction, trail junction, on the other side of the bridge. But yeah, we're starting to get into a couple of the bigger trees. We're just about ready to transition to Thunder Creek proper, from where it dumps into the thunder arm of Diablo Lake, and we're getting back into flowing river again. Nash getting a couple of pictures, because this is all vine maple and alder, so in the summertime it's hard to see that. Which is why it's nice to come out and get some of these trails done in winter, because A, you don't have access to nearly as much stuff, so it thins your choices. B, a lot of these river hikes eventually turn into climbing hikes. It's just the river sections take a while, and they're available in the winter, and you can go slower and enjoy the actual river portions, because it's all you got to look forward to for the day. It's not like you're trying to grind out a 12, 15, 18, 20 mile day and you need to hustle through the flat river section as quickly as possible. You're just doing the flat river section, so you can kind of amble along at a bit slower pace and get the good. He's gonna go. You going all the way to the creek?
No.
Okay. I'll just kill this here and we'll get back to you in a second. Excursion because sunshine, duh. Really? We're there already? Yep. Oh. Sick. Oh yeah, this is the.
Over there looking this way.
Yeah, this is the sandbar. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we chilled here for a bit, I remember.
Yep.
I remember.
Huh, well that says it's like 2.1 miles there, but according to my watch, we're at 1.25. And then according to my iHiking app, we're also only at 1.25. So, I don't know. That's a very quick 2 miles. But whatever. So yeah, I think we'll just walk the sandbar over to the bridge. So as you heard Nash saying, we have taken a video here. Whether I take whether I take another video here today or I post one of the videos I've taken here before, I don't know, but either way, I will post a Thunder Creek at the Thunder Creek Bridge video right there. Deer prints?
Oh, I thought they were bear prints for a second.
No, you can still see the hoof delineation as it melts away.
That's why I thought walking up to it.
Bridge. Let's walk to the bridge. Yeah, this is pretty good, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a short of walking along the sandbar, and I'll take a short of when we go over the bridge?
I might.
Cool. I'm going to go walk over to the river. Yeah, that's pretty damn good, YouTube. Pretty dang sweet. And yes, I'm sure the quality of the video is not great with the direct sun glare, but I assure you there's a really nice bridge right here that we'll be crossing over very shortly. But yes, this is considered a creek in western Washington. In probably 45 out of the 50 states in the country, this would be considered a river. And in most places in the world, this would be considered a river. But nope, this is just a creek in western Washington. That's how much water we have and we get. So, I guess we'll maybe hang out here for a couple more minutes. Looks like Nash wants to get some pictures and such, and then I'll turn the camera back on when we actually cross the bridge. Back to regularly scheduled videoing. So yes, this is the Thunder Creek Bridge, 2-ish miles from the trailhead. If you have limited time or physical ability, I highly recommend you walk the Thunder Creek Trail to the bridge. At least go hang out on the gravel bar we did for a while. And then if you have time, go back across the highway, walk through the other half of the campground, and go do the Thunder Arm Trail. It's a very cool experience. Very good pair of easy little trails to do, to give you a taste of what the North Cascades is like. And let's see if that's halfway decent for a thumbnail in there somewhere. I'm going to try and remember to keep the camera stable better. Oh yeah, that'll be a good thumbnail and a good clip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there steam coming off the bridge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I caught it just the right time where it was just a bunch of it coming off.
Cool. Well, I saw you taking a short, so I don't need to take a short, I suppose.
Mine's good.
Yeah. All right, I'll just keep this rolling and let's go to the 4th of July Creek Junction. That way I can talk about that real quick. So there's a camp here. I'm assuming it's called like Thunder Creek Camp or something like that. There should be signage up here. So if you need to practice your backpack, try out your gear, try out your children, this would be a good one to do, because it took us literally 40 minutes with a good 10-minute stop on the gravel bar to get here. So yeah, big, massive Doug fir. Goomba being Goomba. Are you going out to the river? Alright. Then I won't join you if we can't make it to the river. So, post. We are in the recreation area. So you get recreation area signages, which is posts. So yes, Thunder Campground. Backcountry Camp is that way. And the Thunder Trail is that way. And then shortly we will get to the 4th of July Junction also. Alright, so somewhere around a third, maybe a half mile further down the trail, we have reached the 4th of July Pass Junction. So turning left and going steeply uphill is up to 4th of July Pass,
we will do that at some point. I'll post that right there. It's supposed to be a pretty good hike. Obviously we haven't done it yet. What can I say about it? I think it's like 2.5 or 3 miles up to the pass, and you gain something like more than 2,000 feet. I don't know, I'll post the actual statistics, because there's 2 ways you can access it. You can access it from this side, and then you can also go up the Panther Creek side. So you can do 4th of July Pass twice. And eventually I think we'll do both sides. And so I'll post from this side first, and then the second noise will be from going up Panther Creek, and I'll put the stats from the Panther Creek side there too when I make my sound like that. So now we are on our way, and I believe our next point of interest might be Neve Camp, because we are at, you see my stuff's just now saying we're at 2 miles now. Well, not even that, yeah, just barely under 2 miles now. So we shall see. We got Neve Camp eventually, and then maybe a couple of waterfalls along the trail. Should have taken a short through here. Oh well, do it on the way back. North Cascades rainforest. Almost impenetrable at points. Well, that didn't take very long. I had the camera off for 50 feet, and all of a sudden we're at Neve Camp. I think we're going to be going further than this. Yeah. But we can go down and go look at Neve Camp. It's supposed to have a pretty good spot along the river. We're going to entrap ourselves and make the same mistake we made last time, thinking we can go further than Neve. We won't go all the way to McCallister, but there is a couple of waterfalls that I would like to go see. The sun is just starting to poke into and through the trees. I'm just going to follow the way trail all the way down to the river. Kind of a little ways away though. We shall see. Yeah, I think we're going to go further than the Neve Camp. It's been an hour, and it took us to go the two. Both my devices, my phone and my phone app and my Apple Watch, are saying I've only moved 2 miles. So, not the 3 miles it says to Neve Camp. So, we shall see. Who knows? We might actually go all the way to McCallister. I don't know. I'm going to go down to the river. I'll turn you back on when I get to the river. We made it down to the junction. Probably what? 200 yards down from the trail?
Yep.
So we've had a discussion, came to a decision. Even though it only took us an hour to get here, the actual waterfalls and the cool stuff that I wanted to go see are probably another hour away. So again, we're gonna go 0 for 2 on this frickin' trail. Hey, water's straight ahead, I think.
I know, just look over here.
Okay. So we're gonna go 0 for 2 and save that for another day. Again, it's January 1st, the depths of winter, shortest days of the year. It may only be 11 a.m. But up here, especially this deep in the mountains, it's gonna be dark by like 3:30. So we really can't afford to go blasting on down the trail and waste another 2.5 hours of daylight to go see some waterfalls that may or may not be good, because it's a bit of an off-trail bump to get to it and go all the way to McCallister. So we'll save that for sometime in April. I don't know, maybe we'll continue the tradition alive and put Nash in North Cascades for his birthday for the 3rd year in a row. Who knows? So, pooping station that way. Sign says water this direction. I'm assuming by water it means to the river, and then that direction is the 5 campsites. So yeah, we're gonna go hang out along the river. It looks like it should be sunny on the river, which is a plus. Take a long exposure of this, and then we'll head back to Rex, or fucking Clank, and then we'll go up to the Diablo Lake overlook probably and shoot a long exposure up there maybe, and do some other things while we still have daylight. So let's go see what we get. Hopefully a good spot along the river, because it sounds quite boisterous. I see an open patch of ground over there. So, yeah, I mean, no, it's not. Is it the biggest, baddest hike we've ever done? No, this is going to be a less than 5 mile flat walk along a river that took us 2 hours to do. But not every day needs to be a amazing trail day. Oh, this is a little disappointing. I was hoping we'd be along the river. That's a tad disappointing. Of course, the cut bank's on the wrong side. Well, shoot. That's not a very pleasing view of the river. Might do some poking around, see if I can find me a good spot to go hang out. So after having a little lunch down by the river, we're back up on Thunder Creek Trail. Going that direction is towards McCallister Camp, and so on and so on. When we come back and go all the way to McCallister Camp, I'll post that video right there. And of course, I'll wait to cross this first before I say that, because this is a bit of an exciting crossing. Nash made it look easy, but you know, Nash makes most things look easy.
Pointy boy's loose.
Which pointy boy?
Right there in front of you.
That one?
Yeah. And that one's a little loose too.
Everything's loose. It's as loose as a goose's caboose.
You put your foot on that one that's front. Look at
Move,
that.
move, move. And of course, since I forgot to mention it beforehand, I'll post the long exposure from our lunch spot right there. So now we're just gonna cruise on back to Clank. And since we've got daylight left, since we chose to leave daylight, we're gonna go up to the Diablo Lake overlook and try and get a good long exposure up there. And what bridge? The hiking bridge?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided. There's lots of other long exposures we could get. Would like to go get a long exposure of Gorge Creek Falls, since this is probably going to be as few people as we'll ever see up here. And maybe when we cross the bridge, like Nash was saying, either a long exposure from on the bridge, or I was thinking of getting a underwater shot at the creek right there, since it's a bit calmer section. But we'll make those decisions when we get to there, and of course we'll let you know. Otherwise, we'll see you in a bit. Back at the bridge, but now in full shade instead of full sun, and you can see how different the character is in shade versus in sun. Look at how much the bridge didn't defrost. Is there a smudge on the camera lens? No. Okay. Just, yep. I mean, look at that shit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a long exposure looking that direction. You gonna go get it if it comes off? See, I think I'm gonna shoot a long exposure looking that direction, but I gotta figure out where I want or do not want the sun glare. That's not gonna get picked up. No, I'd rather get the... So I have to figure out where I want to shoot it, but probably right here where the sun glare is coming off the tip of the log. Yeah, that'll look pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to shoot a long exposure right here for probably 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll continue on down back to the parking lot. We're back at the campground. It is 1:15 when I stop my Apple Watch from recording the hike. I did stop it whenever we stopped actually moving, so it's only been recording when we've been moving, and it's been 2 hours and 5 minutes, and we have covered 4.4 miles. So yes, it is 2.2 miles to Neve Camp and back. Let's see here. What to talk about. We're gonna go up to Diablo Lake Overlook next, see if we can get a bit of hanging out in and hopefully a good long exposure. I'm not gonna guarantee nothing, because whenever I try to guarantee nothing, it always falls flat. So I won't guarantee, I'll say hopefully. But let's see here. Ratings. Difficulty is literally a flat forest walk of 2 miles. So 1 star. So Neve was there, that's where we went. The 2 waterfalls I was thinking were there. And then there's one more there. So we went that far. 2, 4, yeah, that's 6-ish. Anywho. So yeah, difficulty 1 star. Let's do accessibility first. Accessibility. Besides the, depending on how fast you drive, 3-ish hour commute from Seattle, it's all on paved roads. It's right there along the side of the highway. And obviously, since it's the dead of winter, the highway isn't closed in winter. So you can access this trail theoretically year round. Now, of course, if there is a big lowland snow event in Seattle, you're obviously not going to get out here. But that's a different story. So accessibility, we'll go 3 stars, just because it's a 3-hour drive from Seattle. Difficulty, I already said, is a 1 star because it's a flat river walk of 2 miles. Enjoyment. What do we say, Nash? 3? 3 stars? Yeah. It's nothing special. I mean, if you've never seen a Pacific Northwest temperate rainforest with a large creek / small river setting, you'd probably be pretty impressed, especially if you come back in summer when everything's all leafed out. But we've seen plenty of those. Not saying Thunder Creek isn't cool or nothing. It's just, it was just a walk along a river. And not every hike has to be some amazing 5-star adventure. That's pretty dang hard to do in the dead of winter, especially if you can't go get on snow. But Thunder Creek will always do. It always has a special place in our hearts because it's the first thing we did when we started exploring North Cascades. And it is pretty damn cool in its own right. It's just a river though. It's not amazing. So yeah. What's coming up? Honestly, who knows? We might get something in before Sabrina and I go to our honeymoon in Hawaii for a week and a half. Yes, I'll be taking the GoPro with, and because I plan on doing some things in Hawaii volcanoes, plan on doing some things in Haleakala, and of course there will be beaches that we will go hang out on, go snorkeling, go swimming, and so on and so on. I'm not going to film every second of every day just because that's weird. And some of the stuff like going out to the USS Arizona Memorial or the USS Missouri Museum ship, you're on a base and there's restrictions so you can't film. But even so, I wouldn't try to film every second of every day. That'd be weird. It'd just be the important parts, like going on a hike, or I'm sure there'll be lots of beachside long exposures at the various beaches we go to hang out in, and hopefully there'll be some good swimming / snorkeling videos too. Other than that, between now and then, this intervening week and a half, who knows? We might go on a hike, we might go play in the snow, we might do nothing. I don't know. It was literally a month in between these last 2 adventures. So, who knows? Until then though, we shall see you next time. Have a good one, and ciao.